Welcome back to Unlocking RuneScape. In this series, I have separated all of the bosses into different tiers and must fill in collection log slots to progress forward. Now that the medium tier is out of the way, we can move on to the hard tier, which is composed of these bosses. In order to progress out of this tier, I need 32 new collection log slots. So, let's get started. I want to try some new things today. I have actually never really done this before, but Gauntlet is on the list, so better early than late, especially because most of my money is invested in gear for Vork right now, so it makes sense to do Gauntlet where there's literally no gear requirement whatsoever. Now, I don't have absolutely max combat stats, which I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference, but I figure it should be fine. I'm going to be doing a lot of regular Gauntlet until I get comfortable enough to try some Corrupt. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be doing. Maybe I'll stop after the Armor Seed, Weapon Seed, and one Corrupt Gauntlet for the Cape. Maybe I'll just keep going until I get the Pet or the Blade, because maybe it's fun. I don't know. Let's find out. Every day, tons of new games get created. So how are you ever supposed to know which ones are good? Let me save you some time and recommend a great one, and also introduce the sponsor of today's video, Hero Wars. Hero Wars is an online action RPG game with numerous PvP modes. Right from the start, you can play in campaign mode, which has a whopping 13 chapters, each with more than 10 missions, and while going through the storyline, you can discover and level up new heroes, and even get equipment and gold to upgrade them from completing the missions. Speaking of heroes, the game currently has more than 50 unique heroes to choose from that all have different skills, allowing for some really diverse teams to be formed. There are 6 more modes you can play as well: Arena, Airship, Outland, Guild, Tower, and Grand Arena. Each mode has its own special advantages that make them unique, from exploring dungeons to summoning powerful titans, and even teaming up with other players. So why not join me and the other 100 million players from all over the world? There are tons of different communities, some of which even helped expand the storylines of characters. You can play Hero Wars on mobile or PC, each of which has tons of game-hosted events and sales. So scan that QR code on your screen or click the links down below to play Hero Wars for free and summon your unique team of heroes today. Alright, so probably a bit of a learning curve to this, but I managed to get a completion on my first try, which I think is pretty great, actually. I'm not going to try Corrupted anytime soon, but our first loot is not bad. I mean, about 100k, I'll take it. Alright, so I'm getting better. As I immediately tank a hit by pressing my record button. I'm getting better, but there's still a lot of room for improvement here, and one of the big things I can improve that's not currently something that I have is giving myself access to augury, which is something I've been kind of neglecting for a long time. So I think I'm going to go spend a little bit of money, get myself 77 prayer, and then spend next to no money buying the actual prayer itself. Alright, I was like 3 bones off and really didn't feel like going back to the altar, but there is 77 prayer. Let's go buy augury. I also did not even realize that apparently that got me 1750 total. So we have access to a couple more worlds now, which could be useful for certain activities. And you might be sitting here wondering, you have less than a mil. How could you possibly buy the best mage prayer in the game? Haha, just kidding, it's 400k. Man, I remember when these things were like 30 mil. Well, either way, let me get myself in a better position here to actually read this thing, just because, you know, why not? Let's get ourselves the final prayer for our book. There is augury and a full completed prayer book. Now back to the Gauntlet. Okay, I may or may not have had to just leave a run because I only brought 5 fish into Hunlif, but I think I want to try the Corrupted. I want to see if I can just get at least one clear. If I'm good enough to consistently clear Corrupted, it's way better. The drop rates are insanely different. In order to get the Crystal Weapon or Armor Seed from regular Gauntlet, it's 1 in 120. But from Corrupted, I believe it's 1 in 50. Not to mention the Blade of Saldor and Pet are way more common as well, though I don't expect to get either of those. So, I'll try it. I've heard this is one of the most frustrating pieces of content in the entire game when you're learning it, though. So, I don't know how that's gonna go. Oh, almost died right at the end there. Oh, that was very, very close, but we got ourselves the Gauntlet Cape, which I believe is one of the slots in the collection log, actually. I'm gonna go check after this. Would I say that's consistently doable? Oh god, absolutely not. Definitely not. I'm not good enough at the game to do that consistently yet. However, we did get it done once, which is awesome. We got ourselves the Gauntlet Cape. Gauntlet Cape was one of these slots, so we now have 2 of the hard tier items completed. Arguably the easiest too, but hopefully the rest comes smoothly. Alright, I believe that's Gauntlet. Oh, never mind, not Gauntlet number 10, but Gauntlet number 9. I'm trying to go a little faster just to get in the habit of doing it during Corrupted, so 721 being the new PB, I feel like is decent, for me at least, considering I just started. Well, there is 20 Gauntlet KC. I haven't really been doing Corrupted. I gave it a few more attempts, as you can tell by the garbage items in my inventory. It did not go very well. I don't know, maybe I just got really lucky that first time, but it's stressful, man. I think I need a lot more practice in regular Gauntlet before I continue to try Corrupt. Oh! Oh! We actually got a Crystal Armor Seed! From a regular Gauntlet. I actually just did a Corrupt before this. I so much chat in here. Got my second Corrupted completion, which is great. But from the regular one, we got ourselves the Crystal Armor Seed, which is 5.6 mil. Awesome. That is pretty lucky as well. I'm very, very happy to go lucky here because I'm realizing this is not my favorite piece of content in the world, to be 100% honest. It'd probably be better if I was good enough to do Corrupted because that's probably insanely good GP. But regular Gauntlet is kind of meh. However, that's 5.6 mil. Very happy with that. I'm hoping to get the Crystal Weapon Seed before we leave here. I don't know if I'm going to go for that all in this episode or not, but I guess we'll see. Spot the problem in this scenario. Spot the problem. I'm just going to let myself die. I didn't cook my fish. I can't believe I did that. Jeez, that was a really close call. Well, I got my third Corrupted Gauntlet KC, and I'm wondering how people do this consistently, man. I don't know, that was brutal. Well, that is 30 gauntlets completed. This place is kind of doing my head in a little bit, so I think I'm going to take a break and head back to Vork and try and just make a little bit more money. The goal is to be able to get, you know, gear that's not just gear for one particular boss, so I can start doing some God Wars, because I think the hard tier is where drops start to become, obviously, a little more difficult to obtain, which means I'm going to be doing a lot more boss hopping than I did in previous tiers. Having multiple sets of gear at once is going to be pretty helpful for that, so I don't have to constantly lose money selling stuff to the Grand Exchange. Well, I've been doing Vork for a little bit just because I wanted a break from the Gauntlet, and there is our fourth Vork head on 162 KC. Just trying to make as much money as possible, really, to be able to, you know, do stuff other than 2 specific bosses. Alright, so I've been killing Vork pretty much all day. Did about 100 or so kills, and we are over 200 KC now, which is very nice. This boss is pretty much unaffected by the economy crashing, so I'm just going to keep building up my loot tab so that I can not do Vork. I mean, the thing is, the one drop that I actually have expected to get besides the Vork head is 1 in 1,000, so we're going to make a decent amount of money off this boss unless we get really lucky, which is fine. I mean, I'm fine with either one of those circumstances. You know, on second thought, I think I actually need to sell off the loot tab to be able to buy some more supplies. So it's time to make a big decision. This is going to be my 300th Vork KC, and even though this is going to provide next to no content, I want to get Vork knocked out now. It seems like the best time to do it is when I have the gear for it, and I need money for gear for other bosses, and this tier is packed with a lot of gear that I'm going to need. So I'm going to stay here, and this video will not end until I get at least one other unique from Vork. So the necklace, the pet, the jar, or either of the 2 visages. This could take me weeks. What a troll. I tied my PB. I hit like 3 zeros at the end and I tied my PB. Come on, man. There we go. Finally, taking out that PB we've been holding on to for a long time with a 109 now. I really want to get a sub 1 minute, but I don't know how realistic that is with the melee setup without dragon claws, and especially because I'm not even 99 attack, so I don't know. PBs are just rolling, and I didn't even realize that was a good kill. 106. Alright, 400 KC. Obviously still no unique yet, but we are, you know, rolling in the money now, which is really nice, and I'm getting pretty excited to sell off the loot tab. I've had to sell bits and pieces of it to restock on supplies, but there still should be a pretty sizable bank increase by the end of this video. Oh! I did not expect that. Well, that's 99 hit points. Second 99 on the account. I've been kind of AFK training in the downtime or when I get bored of doing Vork, so I've been getting my melee stats up a bit, and I guess the HP was just bound to happen eventually. Not particularly impressive, but I've done about 150 kills today. And this boss is a slog. I always forget how taxing such like a monotonous boss can be. But the bright side is, even if we go dry here, it's kind of benefiting us in the long run because at some point here, I'm going to want to have a T-bow. And we're still miles away from that. Okay, that's pretty weird. I just got back-to-back Vork heads. Alright, that's something. And 700 KC. Still waiting on that unique. 800 KC now, and I realize this past, like, 10 clips have probably just been KC milestones. But I've been here for quite a while, and even though the Dragon Bone Necklace is a 1 in 1,000 drop, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that we're due some kind of unique at this point, considering there's 2 different Visages, the pet and the jar, on top of the Dragon Bone Necklace. So hopefully we see something soon. I don't really care what it is. I just want to do something else. Don't ask me how I've come up with the motivation to do so, but this has been like 8 or 9 hours. Nothing but Vork, and that is 900 KC. Yeah, I think I'm gonna log off for a little bit. 1,000 KC at Vork, and we do not have the Dragon Bone Necklace, which means we are now officially dry. I'll admit, this is kind of burning me out just a little bit, but knowing that I only need to get one other item here, of course, aside from the Vork head, kind of gives me a little bit of hope. On top of that, I mean, the money, again, the money is the biggest motivating factor. I'm probably going to have to sell off the loot tab pretty soon, though, because I'm pretty much out of supplies and completely out of money at this point. So there's no point trying to continue holding it all the way until the end of the video. So, I sold off the loot tab. Damn, these have crashed since I've started doing Vork, but sold off the loot tab, you know, 93 mil. And that's with me having sold off some stuff in between a few times as well. The only thing I can possibly upgrade about my setup is buying Dragon Claws, because apparently they're slightly better than a BGS. So I'm just going to do that, and I can always just sell them back when I'm done. Just got a shield left half. Alright, cool. I mean, it's still 60k, it's not a bad drop, but okay. That's a PB for sure right there. Is it a sub 1 minute though? Oh, it's literally 1 second faster. Man, if that whole wall wasn't poison there, I could have probably knocked off another 3 seconds. And there we go, circling just past 1100 KC now. This is probably the most interesting drop I've had so far. Just 2 dragon plate skirts and a Vork head. So my mic was muted for the first part of this, but don't worry, I finally have the collection log plugin that you guys have been asking me for because the series has finally actually caught up to that point. Oh my god, I don't have my mic on. I can leave, dude. Oh my god, I cannot emphasize how good this feels to be able to just leave, dude. I have been grinding this boss for so long, and my motivation to even play the game has dipped kind of hard because, let's be honest, Vork is great money, but it is not fun. And man, doing nothing but Vork for over 1,000 kills was not fun. But we finally got a drop. And I can't even say it like we were ridiculously dry or anything. It just takes a long time to get a drop here. So we did sell off the loot tab pretty recently, so there's not a whole lot in here. Let's go ahead and sell it off again, liquidate it up, get rid of the placeholder stuff, and then see what our bank value ended up after this ridiculous endeavor. Also, just to go through the collection log. Oh, look at that, man. 2 out of 6, 1,200 kills. That's brutal. Alright, this is the last of the items that we had sold off. Another 20 mil, actually, which is more than I thought we would get. What is the bank value? 333 million GP. Honestly, I don't know if that's entirely accurate. I was expecting a little more, but we did buy the Vernic Defender, which I'm assuming gets valued at nothing. Yeah, so it might be accurate, it might not, I'm not really sure. But we'll figure it out regardless. I don't really need these 2 items anymore either, so they're probably going to get sold off because in the next video, I want to start doing God Wars, and we need much different gear for that. Regardless, if you guys did enjoy the video, as always, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and have a fantastic rest of your day.